Hello, hello. What's up, Vivi? How you doing?
Hello. Well, I was telling everyone on Twitter, I needed my margarita mixer. Seeing how Spy is acting right now, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
So I know we're starting a little bit late, but let me just hit that intro
yes,
real quick and we'll get
yes,
right into it.
sure.
Boom, there we go. It's the Biotech Buzz, back at it again with Vivi, here to talk all your favorite biotech stocks. And Vivi, how's it going? I know you got started there a little bit. It's a bit of an interesting day. Interesting is a nice way of putting it for the stock market. Um, More like depressing, but how's it going for you?
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely I want to talk to you guys about we did have a really good news yesterday as the market was tanking. We had some news of KMPH, but look at KMPH today. It's just so depressing. If you pull the chart out up,
Sure, yeah, I got it right here.
and like any perfect, I'm no perfect, just like you guys. I didn't get my 20. I'm telling you, Weibo was trading all the way to 20. I didn't get my 20, and I said, well, I'm gonna pay capital gains, so I'm just gonna hold long, and I'm not gonna worry about selling and then buy back lower. And I've many times I shared the strategy and I ended up not doing because I don't want to pay the capital gains. So look at it, like it gave up all the gains that we had yesterday. So it's a pretty bummer. And then we had AT giving a downgrade to $12 a share, and a lot of people speculating that the reason they were doing this because we didn't KMPH didn't use them for their offering. They use a different financial company, and they're kind of like it's a payback to them to let them know, like, hey, you didn't use us, and now we're gonna just screw you and give you this kind of like downgrade. But here's what I was explaining to my followers, why I'm still very bullish in this company. The float is gonna get bigger because they have some warrants that is issuing. So the real float on the situation is going to be 32 million shares. And when you look at the valuation, because they're getting almost 500 millions in royalties just from one product, and they have this amazing pipeline that they're going to have, they're going to have this drug that's going to be for substance abuse, cocaine, heroin. And so it's going to be a blockbuster. Even at the valuation right now, the market cap, if you do 34 times 10, is still at 340 million, right? So we're still trading almost at like a half of a market cap that should be based on what is in store for this company. So you guys gonna laugh, like just like anybody. I added a little bit more at 1040, thinking that that was the bottom, and it kept bottoming, and it's a low float. Anything below 100, below 50 million is considered low float. So we're gonna have a big swings on this company. But everybody was really happy, because I alerted here at a 595. Jason was really happy. He had a 4,000 shares, and it's so funny because he bought it why I was talking to you guys about the company, and then he realized the market cap was only like 30 million. He's like, oh, wait a minute, this is a micro cap company. I shouldn't have been buying this. And then, it was a 595. It hit it all the way to 20 yesterday. So for the open market, it hit like 16. So I'm telling you, Rohan, I'm putting some money on my Weibo account just for like these pre-market, because in California it'll be 1 o'clock in the morning for me, which will be perfect. The 3 o'clock in the morning, because you lose a lot of opportunities when there's news after hours. People in Weibo like have a blast. I had a friend that bought it at 16 and sold it at 20, and it
Yeah.
never got to 20 on open market.
Yeah, so
Go
I
ahead.
thought Webull you can only trade up to like 8 p.m. though, right?
No, but in the morning though, the Weibo starts at
Oh,
1
in
o'clock in the morning,
pre-market. Oh,
California,
wow.
3
Yeah, yeah.
o'clock. So you have an hour of a trading before E-Trade, before Fidelity, So you have the whole hour to just day trade there. And so people, it's a bummer because they never got to the $20 even at the open market, because the market was already crashing, it was just already going down. And then I see a lot of things on Twitter like, do you still want to be a full-time trader? I'm glad I have my second job. I have to say, I'm glad I have a second interviews on my pharmaceutical jobs. You know, it's really good job, especially when times like this that I can pretty much do both. You know, not a lot of trading on the upside going on. You can buy some puts. I did buy some UV XY calls. You know, so I'm trying to make a little bit money, hedge it against the market a little bit. Okay. So, yeah, no, it's been crazy. It's been a crazy day.
Yeah, no kidding. And I hear you got you have some new trade ideas for
I
us.
do. I have a company that, believe it or not, I interview for. And I was very hopeful about this company, and I want to work for them because it would have get me back in cardiology. And I got all the way to the final interview, and I did not get picked. But there's a huge team from Genentech that is gonna be working from them on a team. So let me share with you guys what it is, sure, and I'll share. I'm gonna share my screen with you. Let me see. Share screen. So let me show. Can you guys see it?
Here we go.
So the company is KNSA, Kinikisa. I was, studying for this interview because I was in the final interview. So I did my little PowerPoint presentation. And here's the reason I'm very bullish about this company is that they already have a drug called Arcalyst. So Arcalyst has a different indication where Regeneron owns this company. So again, in terms of a safety, proof of a concept of a safety, it's been established, right? Very similar when I was talking to you guys about the pro drug. So this is already approved drug, but we're looking into an additional indication. Can you guys read everything that is over there? Or I can make it a little bit bigger. Let me see.
Yeah, let's make it a little bit bigger. I have no problem reading it, but I imagine someone's on their phone or something. It might be harder.
Can you guys see a little bit better?
Let's see. I can also make it full screen. Let's do that. Then you can just like...
yeah,
there we go.
So it's going to be the first and only FDA-approved drug indicated for recurrent pericarditis. Pericarditis is an inflammation around the heart, the walls, the pericardium of the heart. And it's going to be the first in class IL-1 inhibitor of inflammation. And so the Arcalyst treatment was associated with a 96% reduction in risk for pericarditis reoccurrence. Patients on Arcalyst experienced non-minimum pericarditis pain for up to 98% of the trial days, which is amazing. 74 out of the 75 patients continuing to the long-term therapy, demonstrating a desire to continue a duration of 24 months. And they recommend dose is 320 milligrams, and it's a subcutaneous injection on day 0, and then followed by another injection weekly for 5 additional doses. So you don't have to be like, it's not a every year therapy. And in the clinical trials, the most common side effects were injection site reactions. So I'm very, very bullish. The PDUFA date is March 21st. And I think they're going to get approved. So how are they doing is they are splitting the revenues with Regeneron. So it's a 50-50. And the reason I'm bullish is, there's a Genentech team. A lot of the Genentech people came on board. And they have their sales force built. I actually have friends in cardiology in Florida that are working for this company. So they're ready to go. They're ready to launch this drug on day 1 on March 22nd. So I would definitely keep this on you guys' radar. How is the drug? Let me see, how is the chart today? It probably one of the few, it's one of the few green ones for the day. So it's $22. Yeah. So I definitely, I think the PTs are around $30 for this company. But again, PDUFA, there's its risks. But the reason that it makes me feel a little bit bullish is because it's already an approved drug. So the proof of a safety concern is already out the door. So that would be it for today. That would be my my tip for the month. What are you guys have any other questions?
Ruel asked, "What is the ticker?" Ruel, the ticker is
KNSA.
Yep, it's on screen. KNSA.
Yes. So it's a holding at $22. So I see an upside of at least 40%, of the price that's current on right now. So I should buy myself some too. I'm after having ATNX not going through PDUFA, I'm getting a little bit nervous, but we still have a 3 weeks to the PDUFA date. I think we have a chance to make some good money beforehand, but I don't see this company not being approved. Their sales force is ready to go.
There we go. Boom.
Yes.
All right. So we have some questions here.
Tell me.
Someone said, please tell me what to do with SENS. I should note that we are not financial advisors, but I'd love to hear your opinion on SENS.
Okay. SCNS. I would SCNS.
SE like Earl.
Yeah. So as a SENS, I am holding my calls. I was like 6,000 up on my calls, and now like, let me see what my calls are right now. It's so depressing. I mean, I'm glad everyone is in the same situation. So let me see what my calls are telling me. Oh yeah, I'm a negative. No, I'm a $762 up on my $2 calls. I'm holding. There's catalyst coming in July. So any companies that are fundamentally good, or they have a catalyst, like ITRM is a disaster right now. It's it's right now, I bought it at a 190, is a 134. It's a disaster. But the reason I'm not going to average down here is because July is the PDUFA date. So March, April, May, June, July, there's 4 months. So if I have to hold this a little longer, I know that it's going to pay me back. So, but I have to say, anything that it's long, there's catalysts along the way, I just sold, because I feel like the market, the way it's reacting. But I'm holding this one. I'm holding SCNS for sure.
All right. Let's see. There are a couple of questions. Some people talking about ATNX.
Okay, so ATNX, the reason I kept it, I did not sell for a loss, because they just launched, they just had the approval of that cream for skin cancer, and it was approved in December, right? So I feel like they only had not even 3 months of a full approval and sales, and they already reported 20 million revenue. So the inside ownership, it's so big. I feel like they're so motivated to get this going and doing the second trial. So I'm going to wait a couple more quarters just to see what kind of a sales we can produce with the product. So I felt like it was a huge overreaction of not having, the PDUFA. It didn't go through. They have a complete response letter, but they have actually a cream that is going to address 44 million patients. So I decided to hold for a while.
All right. And so, someone commented, that puppy be chilling in the back. Yeah, I saw your dog in the back.
Oh, yeah, he is, puppy. Yeah, look at him. He is complete. Look at that.
What's his name?
Steve. We adopted him, and his name is Steve Buscemi, like the actor from Sopranos, because the face is all like this.
I see it.
Yeah. And so I love dogs with the human names, so we kept his name.
That's funny. That's too funny.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Steve Buscemi, whatever. Look at him.
Buscemi?
Yeah, look at that. He's completely like, he has the life.
He's just hanging out.
He's just hanging out. He has the life.
Okay, and someone said BCRX had a conference today. I don't know.
Yeah, so BCRX has a conference today, and then have one March 11th, and then we have a March 22nd. We have the data on the Factor D pipeline. So I'm really, really excited. Like I told you guys, it's probably the only green on my whole portfolio because my average is so low. But it has held really, really well. It got to like $10 today, and it's 11.18. I feel like BCRX is gonna stand any bear market because it's such a good company with so many catalysts coming up. So yes, they have one today, and if it, I don't know if it, they probably already had the conference, but they have another one next week on the 11th.
Let's see. Here, I'll share my screen. This is just like a little thing on. Oh, that was the wrong one. There we go. All right.
Yeah, see,
So shares
it's
of company in
bouncing.
the border healthcare sector are trading lower as stocks. Ah, okay. Never mind. That was just
What
reading
would
the
you
whim.
say? Yeah, now this company, it's like I'm holding on to all my shares. I feel like this company has a huge potential for buyout. I'm being pounded on the table since $4. So
There we go.
yes.
All right. So someone's saying, does Steve have any picks?
Oh yeah, no, huh? That would be great.
Steve, any stock picks? So let's see.
And he doesn't stop. Can you guys hear? He's a completely snoring too. It's so funny. Yeah.
I couldn't hear anything, but that would be
No,
funny.
yeah, but he's so funny.
We'll have to hand him the mic next time.
Yeah.
All right. CYCC.
Not familiar with that one. I'll write it down for my own little research.
All right. For the next show, we'll bring it up.
Yeah.
Sorry, Shri. All right. Someone said wolf as the stock pick. That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do STIC. Are you familiar?
STIC. No, but I'll take a look at that one too.
All right. What about BTNX?
Never heard of that. I'm sorry, you guys, but I promise you, I'll bring.
This is good. We're getting plenty of material to bring up for the next show.
That's true. Yeah, because I was telling you guys, you know, the last time I had a CLBS, I said, you know, it looks good, but it's so far out for catalysts, you know, not until 2022, your money, especially in a bear market, like, I don't know if we're in a bear market, but I hope not, but especially when the market is red, the first stocks to go are the ones that don't have a catalyst, you know? I mean, BCRX is holding its own because there's so much going on with them. Nobody wants to let it go.
All right, here we just got a flow of tickers going at us. A couple of people commenting. NSPR.
Oh my God, NSPR, guys! I'm trying to see when is a good time to add. Right, I have majority of my shares because I had a lot at a 65, and then I sold at 104. And then I bought it at 120. So all my shares are like 120. And I'm like, I was going to add it at 65 and then I missed. So now I'm like waiting. Is it going to go down to 65 again? It's almost there. I think we're going to see this uncertainty until we see the voting next week. And once we have the voting, so here's my strategy, because that happened to me with ALT. So here's my strategy. I'll tell you guys. So let's assume, okay, that everyone is at $1 a share, right? And
all right.
So if you're at $1 a share, and then at a 0.6 or 60 cents, they decide to do a 5-to-1, right? So a 5-to-1 on $1 a share is $5, right? And then a 5-to-1 on a 0.6 is only $3.10, okay? So now you have $1.90 to get to that. I would have definitely, because for some reason, every time there's an announcement of a RS, the stock drops. That is when I would add more. So I would not touch anything until we know exactly when is the reverse split, if it's actually going to happen. And I have to be honest with you guys, at a 60 cents now, they're not even compliant anymore. So I know the reverse split's going to happen, but fundamentally, you guys, this company is going to be huge. I do see like a Medtronic or Boston Scientific buying them. We have a great minds behind, great cardiologists. So it's going to just require patience, but I'm definitely going to have some cash available to double down once this RX goes through. But I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not going to sugarcoat. I mean, I'm a bag holder right now for sure. And I have a lot of shares. I don't even want to open this on my IRA. But I feel like once we have that, things are going to get better. And they also have a earnings on March 9th, I think. So next week will be the earnings and also the voting. I think voting is March 14th. So March 14th is not till the following week. Yeah. So so it's almost a year. Month of March is going to be the deciding factor on this company for sure.
Yeah. So keep your eye out next couple of weeks.
Fundamentally, I think this company will be a $10 stock for sure. I am not selling a single share of this company, not a single one. I think this company it's going to be amazing.
All right. So yeah, definitely keep your eyes on that one.
Yeah.
This is funny. My cousin just commented, "Hello, beta," which basically means like child. It's kind of funny.
Did anybody? So today there's a voting on ONTX as well. So people are freaking out line.
ONTX.
Yeah, they're having a proxy vote as well on the RX. So how is the stock behaving? I mean, that would be a good one, guys, to have an idea what's going to happen if we get a yes or no on our RS. If we get a yes, a no, I think this is going to fly tomorrow. But if we get a no, you guys can see how the stock's going to behave.
What do you think the likelihood is of that? Do you know?
So here's the thing that people need to be aware. A lot of times it's not just for compliance that people wanted to, if people wanted to do a reverse split, right? So let's assume in the case of NSPR, the float is small. It's like 30-something million, right? They want to do because they want to uplist with the NASDAQ. And that's why I feel like once we have some catalyst, the stock price is going to come right back up. Just like ALT, the float became like 6 million. I got my money all back from ALT. So with Oncanova, the float is like 200 million, right? So when you have a company with a really big float, the company, when they need to raise funds, they're going to have to keep adding shares to the float, right? And therefore diluting the stock price even more. So in that case, there's two alternatives. They might not do for compliance, but they might want to do it. So they reduce the float to do what next, you guys? You reduce the float and then you issue more shares to raise more capital, right? So they don't want to have to keep raising capitals without an RS to have a 500 million float. So that is going to be that would be my only concern. But who knows? They might just decide to say, we're not going to do it because one, people voting no, and two, they're already complying with above $1 for a while. So all bets are off. I have no idea what's going to happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No. So it's just like hit or miss here, but
yeah, does that make sense about the float? Do you know what I mean? Like when you have a really, really small float, sometimes people, they don't want to do the reverse split because it's just not enough. They can issue as many shares and make the float bigger. So the smaller the float, the more for them to issue more shares, therefore diluting the stock a little bit more. And so that's what I was going to say. That's why a lot of times, guys, when you're looking at PDUFA or you want to look at the float of the stock, because that's not gonna take a lot of people to trade the float over and over again. So with the KMPH, it went up, from 595 when I alerted you guys like a month and a half ago to 20 because the float is small, and that's why right now we're hurting because the float is small, so it doesn't take that much of volume to bring the price down or to bring the price up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And a lot of people don't look at the floats, but when investing, I think looking at the floats is very important.
100%. Okay, so we have a couple minutes here. Let me bring myself back on the screen. Couple minutes left here. I've gotten a couple requests for IDRA. I know did we talk about it on the last episode?
Love IDRA. So IDRA had some, I told you guys it was my first loss. I lost $32,000. Woohoo! I had my whole Roth IRA on that company. Anyways,
oh, no.
I did. And 5 years later, the price is the same as when I bought. Look at this, guys. The price is the same when I bought 5 years ago, except they did a reverse split. And today, that same price, I would have to have $32 a share to break even. $32 a share. So I sold at a loss when, couple of years ago. So I bought IDRA because the Baker brothers had a huge amount of shares. They own a lot of that company. I had a conversation with Milano. Milano came from the team that got his other company purchased. But here's the crazy thing. Milano has been around there for 20 years and we have no product yet. So the preliminary data for the melanoma looked really, really good. And now they're gonna release phase 3 data this quarter. But it's risky, right, you guys? So I'm gonna wait for that data to be solid, and then I'm just gonna, like a Pac-Man, I'm gonna buy for PDUFA. But it's a huge risk. I think they're gonna do well. That's another thing too. I bought them many years ago because they had this GS technology that was amazing, and nothing panned out. So they're finally are gonna be somehow profitable. But just to show you guys, you don't just hold long your positions in a company that has a product 3, 4, 5 years out. Look what happened to me. But I want to hold through phase 3 data readout. That's one of the worst. Is if that's a no, guys, this is it. I would not hold through it. No way. I'll be waiting right here, even if I have to pay $1 more a share of the day of the data release. If it's pre-market, I would have not hold through the data. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah, so you're waiting for the upside.
Phase 3 is one of your biggest losses, you guys. I told you. Most companies make through phase 1 and then make through phase 2 is a 70%. And then phase 3 is like 3 out of 10 make it. So this is the worst phase for you guys ever to make money in, is phase 3. Just wait, and then have a cash available to buy the day of that data has been released, because I'd rather hold to PDUFA seeing good data than holding through phase 3. And look what happened to Okanova. The phase 3 data, they released the 4 weeks before. So that caught a lot of us with a lot of shares. I was going to unload 80% of my shares 2 weeks before the data came, and the data came 4 weeks prior. So I took a huge loss there. And when I listened to the conference call, the CEO saying, now we're really excited to field our new drug application with the FDA, and never was concrete. So just be careful, you guys. That's from my own experience. Phase 3 is a no holding through data.
Okay. Yeah. So, 3 out of 10 is
yes,
definitely not a majority there. It's a low chance. So keep your fingers ready to hit the buy button, but
exactly, wait for it. There's no reason to take that kind of a risk.
Absolutely.
But the CEO is phenomenal. I found him on LinkedIn because he was diluting, and I had him call me, maybe for being a woman and having my picture on LinkedIn. He called me in person, and I had a 25-minute conversation with him, and he's explaining the intentions of the company, because I had a lot of shares, but I really like the team. He used to work for a company that got bought out. I forgot the name of the company. Amarin Pharma, one of those big companies. So I like the team. The management team is amazing.
Okay. And as someone saying is NSPR buy, I think we already talked about that one, so maybe just go back a little bit.
Guys, rewind. Yeah. We talk about it. Just go back. Just rewind.
Someone was requesting a couple times. They said for the next time, but I think we have a minute left here. Oh man, so many comments in the last couple seconds.
Really?
SCYX.
SCYX. No. Yep. I'll check. So people are on Twitter come on, Viv, come every single day. We want to see you. And I said, okay, with that many tickers, I need a time to study those tickers.
She has to do a research.
I can bring value to you guys. And I want you guys to miss me. And then I also have to find a job. Look at the market. I need a second job now. This, I can still do both. I just need a steady income every single month. So yes, it's a pleasure to be here to see you guys. But I wanted to have a time to bring you guys value and not be so repetitive. And I want to bring you guys a good one every single time I come on the show. So that is that's the reason it's only twice a week.
There we go. And this looks like it's about time to close it out, guys. Yeah. I did see, so just in reference to the process. Now, this has been a great show, and I'm looking forward to the next one. A couple of you guys, so we're trying out something new where basically as each show ends, YouTube, we set it up to auto direct to our next stream. So if you were in crypto, you would have been directed here. And I had some people in the comments, I saw your comments saying that you didn't get directed to this one. Where was my auto direct? And so it seems like it's working for the majority of everyone. If it isn't working for you, I'd say it's one, either due to the device you're watching on. Like if you're watching on a TV, maybe that's why, or if you're watching on your phone, I'm not sure. I know that it's been working for me on my computer. And the other thing is you want to make sure you have your YouTube autoplay turned on. So with that, we do have our next show coming up right here. I'm going to let them know to go live. I know we're running a little long. So we have pre-market prep at the close with Spencer Israel. We got Joel Conan, so you got to hop on that one. Keep the train going. We got 430 of you guys here. So just stick around. As soon as we end the stream, there should be a nice little pop-up on your screen to go to the next one.
And then I wanted to tell you guys just DM me if you have any questions too, because I'm pretty good about getting back to people. It takes me a little bit because I get a lot of messages, but I always try to get back to everyone.
There we go.
So, okay, thank you guys. I'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Thanks, everyone. All right.
Okay,
have a good one, and enjoy the next show.
So good to see. What's Spencer, by the way? I miss him. Tell him I say hello.
I'll tell him, and the audience can tell him because he's on the next show. All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.